Carlyle, most against a D1 opponent, and one off his overall career high of 19. De Niro, 4 threes is a season high for him. First time outscored in the paint this year, and largest rebounding margin this year as well. And we'll start with Coach and then open it up.
I think he just about summarized really where we lost the game. When you out rebounded 14 and you give up 17 second half chance points, it's a hard thing to overcome. We did some good things. We didn't sustain long enough streaks. When we were down, we did find a way to dig ourselves out of a hole and get back in the game. I thought Brandon and Christian gave us some good minutes during that stretch that we got back out of the hole, but you can't dig those type of holes against good teams. They're a good team. I mean, they were 9 in the RPI this morning. From an offensive standpoint, we did enough to win the game. Our defense, during certain spots, failed us, and part of it was because when we dug ourselves a hole, we took bad shots and turned it over. That'll get you every time.
Do you take, you said there were some positives. Obviously, you looked fantastic to start the game, and then, the guys could have easily folded during this thing. I thought it was pretty impressive to come back from 16 down.
They don't fold. I mean, my wife told me this last year, and I believe it. They're not going to quit. We're going to get beat. We'll get beat, but these guys aren't going to quit. They'll line up and keep fighting. And we had a couple streaks where we dug ourselves out of a hole, dug ourselves back into a hole, and we've got to eliminate those type of deals. And especially when we're small, we need to learn how to rebound the ball, group rebound the ball. That's going to be something really important for us.
And you did this without Ricky and to an extent without Rayshawn. Could this be a little bit of a turning point then?
We say it all the time, no one cares. I mean, who plays us? I mean, Middle Tennessee doesn't care. When we got 5 guys out there, those 5 guys have to rebound the ball. It makes us a little, thinner, but the reality of it, no one really cares. We've got to bow up and rebound the ball better and take care of the ball better.
The zone really bothered them. Guys had a lot of energy in that zone. That helped you big time during the
comeback. At one point, they were 1 for 13 against the zone. Then they hit a little streak where they got the ball into the middle of the zone and made a couple shots. I thought we pressured the ball a little bit better. We got the shooters off the 3-point line, and it did help us for a stretch.
Brandon had a good spot up on the 3 when he got fouled, and I'm sure there's nobody who would rather had at the line at that point.
No, that's it is what we talk about. It's not one shot or one play, and we wouldn't have been in a situation to be in the game if he hadn't made so many good plays. So that's, what, if it happens again, I want him to be on the line again. It's that simple. He'll make it.
Played a heck of a game for you guys tonight.
He did. He's getting better. He's made big leaps and bounds. We saw it during the preseason. He just needs to keep playing with confidence, and we think the sky's the limit for him. He's gotten so much better. We need him to rebound a little bit better, which he will. He's a great offensive rebounder. We need him to defensive rebound, but we're really excited for having him, and he's really going to help us a lot this year.
Brandon, did it look like the last one was down? Did you think it was in?
Yeah, I thought it was in. I did the same routine I did the last 2 times and tried to follow through, and it just went in and out. It's one of those things you can't control. Just got to keep working at it, keep working in practice at free throws.
The comeback portion of tonight, you guys come out to the really nice start, and then they start chipping away at it. You got Trey with a couple of fouls, Zach with a couple of fouls, but you're able to fight back through that. What was the mindset? What did you talk about at halftime, and just the fact that you guys just kept coming?
Well, like you said, we got out to a good start. Our point of emphasis was to keep it going, to stay on top, stay on the glass. Obviously, they out-rebounded us 15-7 on the offensive end, and so that's something that we gotta fix going into practice tomorrow. So this consistency is what we work on, what we talk about, and just finishing plays. And we weren't able to do that for the most part of the game, but we did have a bunch of spurts where we kept fighting, we kept bouncing back.
You guys were much better against them tonight than you were on the 21st. How do you feel things are going right now? Are you really turning a corner, do you think, Brandon?
I think so. Like Coach said, nobody cares if you're banged up. Nobody cares if you're out. Next man has to step up. Carlyle gave us good minutes. De Niro, who was hurt, came back, and he hit a bunch of key shots for us. And so, we got guys that can step up, that can come in and play a valuable role for us. And I think that everybody contributed in a good effort tonight. It's just we just came up short tonight.
Christian, you not only played really well tonight, you really attacked the rim, especially in the first half. You're getting the board, getting the inbounds, and I mean, you're just flying to the rim and stuff. You look really comfortable on the offense. Now, how do you feel out there, man?
felt really good today. I was just focused on working really hard for my team, making plays and being aggressive, going from there. So.
Coach, Middle Tennessee State, obviously that's a team that will likely play in the tournament again this year. Playing them twice, now in a close game. Are there a lot of things you can take from that moving forward and playing down the stretch against teams that are going to be playing in the tournament?
Well, the biggest thing is we need, there's always things after every game we can take. There'll be some things from a technique things. There'll also be some things, 50-50 balls, those type of things that we've got to get better at. I mean, I think there's a million things we'll watch, we'll see, we'll try to see what helps us best. And then I think another thing we have to figure out who we're going to play. I mean, from a personnel standpoint, we're still trying to figure those things out. Ray was out, we had Berkey was out, Brian's been out. We get Michael eligible. We had Dinero just missed 3 straight games when he was dinged up. So we need to start developing a little bit of continuity with rotational type deals. Also, I think that'll help us a lot when we know who we're playing.
Simmons was really good for you guys tonight. I thought especially early defensively was fantastic early.
No, he did some really good things, and him getting in foul trouble didn't help us in the first half, but that's part of it. You got to play out of it. And Trey's been very consistent in his effort, very consistent in practice, and we're expecting him to have a really good senior year.
Florida Atlantic, they look pretty good, Joe. They got 4 guys in double figures. They got a 7-footer. Not sure what they did against BC tonight, but they're 3-3 going into that. Play close at South Florida.
Yep. 60
Your thoughts on Tuesday night?
Athletic, very skilled offensively. Big fellas, I think, had 4 double-doubles the last 5 or 6 games. Delph, I think they're much better, especially offensively, than they were a year ago. They can really score in spurts, great in transition. We've got a 2-day turnaround to get ready, and we'll get the guys. We practice tomorrow. We'll start figuring some things out. We'll have a plan for them when we meet with them tomorrow.
They were in Jermaine for a few games. Did you guys get a chance to get?
We're not allowed to.
Oh, okay.
If it was our tournament, we could do it. Otherwise, you can't scout outside.
Brandon, how important is it to bounce back for this and get back?
Very important. After tonight, it's time to, figure out what we need to do for the next game. So starting in practice tomorrow, we'll bounce back. We'll be all right. Coach is gonna put us in a spot to succeed. So, just got to put this one behind us and just keep marching forward.
Coach Tillett talks about in baseball when they played the Florida teams just winning the state, obviously for bragging rights, but more so to build the brand here in the state. How important is that for you guys to go out and beat FAU here?
Every game's important. I mean, I think we talk about recruiting. I mean, whether we're playing in state, it's important in the state, but I think winning in general is important. So whether it's in the state of Florida or Georgia or Alaska or Nova Scotia, and we're going to try to line up and play. So I think it's it's an in-state rivalry. We'll be excited to play. I know the guys will, but anytime you get an opportunity to play, you should be excited and appreciative.
How much do you look back from last year's game against them?
You watch tendencies. Personnel's a little bit different. They've had some guys, newcomers. They've also had some guys that have adjusted roles. So I think you try to see tendencies, try to see how they guarded you, try to see what they ran against you last year and what they're running this year, and then see the similarities of how we guarded it and what they were successful with and what they weren't. So we'll go back to tendencies.
Anything else?
Good.
Coach, one last thing. That last free throw, of course, is one everybody's going to remember, but there was probably at least 5 or 6
No, it was
free.
more than that. I mean, we down the line, we kicked away a couple free throws. I mean, we all, it wasn't.
There were so many that were halfway down and spit out. I mean, you got to think that.
I don't, maybe I look at things a little backwards, but I don't view it as missing a shot. I view it as stops we didn't get. And when you look at things, when you give up, 17 more second chance points, we didn't do that. We don't have to worry about free throws. And I put the onus on our defense, not on guys making shots. That's not the kids' fault. That's our defense's fault. That's my fault.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, guys.